Hello and good afternoon. Thank you for joining me on another self-care episode. Today we are going to be working on a natural deodorant. But before we go ahead and get started with our workshop, let's go over some of the supplies you'll need. You will need 6 main ingredients in order to make the deodorant, as well as some water, some measuring spoons, a measuring cup, a scraper of any kind. It could be a spoon or rubber spatula, a funnel for packaging, and we are going to be using the double boiler method. So you will need a pan as well as a bowl. I don't have a stove, so we're going to be using a hot plate. But for packaging, we do have these mini deodorant containers. You'll also need some baking soda, arrowroot starch or flour, lavender essential oil, grapefruit essential oil, shea butter, as well as some coconut oil. You're going to go ahead and heat up your pan first, and then you're going to go ahead and add your water. Not a whole lot, because you don't want the water touching your glass bowl. But you're going to go ahead and put in your glass bowl, and you can add 2.5 tablespoons of coconut oil. Coconut oil as well as shea butter get stuck to your spoon, so that's why I suggest you get a scraper. And I just have an extra spoon with me. And I did overfill the first two, so I don't need that much of a half a tablespoon of coconut oil. Next thing you'll need is 2.5 tablespoons of shea butter. And again, it's okay if you overfill it just a tad bit. And if you happen to do that, all you need to do is just get a little bit more. The rest of our dry ingredients we're going to go ahead and save and wait for this to boil. But you're going to let your water simmer. It's going to go ahead and melt both the shea butter as well as the coconut oil together. And while that does that, you want to make sure to stir it occasionally just to mix the shea butter and coconut oil together. Now that both the coconut oil as well as your shea butter are combined, so it looks like it's a clear liquid, you're going to go ahead and add your baking soda as well as your arrowroot starch / flour. Now for the baking soda, you're going to go ahead and add 1.5 tablespoons. And baking soda itself comes a little bit clumpy, so you can use your spoon and break it down just a tad bit. Go ahead and add that in. With your arrowroot starch / flour, you're going to go ahead and add 1/4 cup. And once you have those two ingredients in there, you can go ahead and add your essential oil as well. And we're going to add 6 drops of lavender, And you're also going to add 6 drops of grapefruit. Once you have everything combined, you're going to grab your stirrer and just stir all this together. It is optional. You can also put in some tea tree oil, but I would suggest, if you're going to use tea tree, to go ahead and test it out on your skin first, because some individuals do have allergic reactions to tea tree oil. And if you don't want to add any essential oils, that is also your choice. You can also mix it up with different types of scents. But you're just going to add everything together. It's better if you use a wire whisk for this, but all I have is our spoon for today. And you're just going to combine this until everything is mixed properly. You want to make sure that there's no chunks in there. Alright, so now that everything's mixed, it is time for packaging. You can choose to use a sealable container and just use a wooden spoon to scoop out the deodorant when you use it. Or like I mentioned, we do have these miniature deodorant containers, and in order to fill them, you just need a funnel as well as the container and our mixture. And you're going to very slowly but surely pour your mixture into the container. And I overfilled it just a tad bit, so you want to be careful when you're pouring it out. If you have an old deodorant container, it's best to use that. But once you have your containers filled, all you have to do is just go ahead and let that dry. Pour a little bit of the mixture out of the container. But you're going to go ahead and let this dry, and once it's fully dry, all you have to do is water your armpits just a tad bit. Get the deodorant stick, rub it underneath. If you put it in a sealable container, all you have to do is get a wooden spoon, scoop a little bit out, because a little bit goes a long way. So we're going to go ahead and let these dry. Thank you for joining me on another self-care episode. Today we made some natural deodorants. I will be putting the list of ingredients as well as written instructions into the video description. If you have any ideas for any future self-care episodes, you're more than welcome to put it in the comments down below. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to all of our social media accounts. We have everything from Facebook to Instagram as well as our YouTube channel. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.